It's time to turn our attention to the 2020 NFL Draft. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. Evan, you've been updating mock drafts on our website at CLNSmedia.com over the last few days. Let's start with round one. The Patriots have the number 23 overall pick. What do you have them doing with that pick?
Well, right now I have them trading out of the first round. And the main reason why is because the sweet spot of this draft is going to be on day 2. And the Patriots currently don't have any picks between 23 and 87. So they're going to go a lot of picks there in the second round in particular without a selection. So the reason why I traded down was mainly their positions of need, tight end and edge rusher, I think are probably the two biggest ones that we have heading into the draft. Don't have a ton of first round talent at the top of the board. So they're going to be reaching for players at that point. So what do you do when you're going to reach? You trade back a little bit and you get the player in a more comfortable position. We can talk about some of the guys that if they stay put that I think might be in their range, but I really look at that big gap between picks and look at their needs and look at the way the draft is setting up. And I just think that this is got Belichick trade down written all over it, which we know he's done in the past.
Absolutely. But like you mentioned, if they do stay put in that first round, are there a couple names of guys that intrigue you? Or the big question is, are they going to grab a quarterback? Because do they want to give that competition to Jarrett Stidham? And I know there's Justin Herbert, there's Love, there's a couple names thrown around there that could be intriguing for the Patriots. Who stands out to you?
Well, I think that if the Patriots are in a position where one of those two guys you just mentioned, Herbert or Love, starts to slide down the board a little bit, there is not necessarily Patriots precedent for trading up in the first round for a quarterback, but there's a ton of precedent for it league-wide and a ton of success in recent years. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, those are two guys that those teams traded from a similar position where the Patriots are up to around the 10th pick to land their quarterbacks, and look at how those situations have worked out for them. So I think that there is a chance that if the Patriots like one of those quarterbacks that they could make that move. But the spot that I'm looking at is, could they go wide receiver back-to-back years in the first round? Because this is such a loaded wide receiver class, Sierra. I mean, there's just receivers all over the place that you can get in this draft. So they could wait and they could go with value, right, and get a guy on day 2 or maybe early day 3 that should have gone higher in a less stacked class. But if you have somebody like a Henry Ruggs or a Justin Jefferson or a Denzel Mims sitting there for you at 23 with a new quarterback that doesn't have a ton of weapons to throw to yet, it's a really tempting offer for the Patriots to go wide receiver in back-to-back years.
And if they do stay put in that first round, do you think really that they would go with a quarterback or a wide receiver over maybe addressing some defensive needs like replacing a Drawn Harmon or kind of a year late replacement of Trey Flowers? Do you see that as a potential scenario?
Well, the defensive players that are going to be remaining are going to be mocked to the Patriots by a lot of other people throughout this entire process. And I'm leaning towards defense with the top pick as well. Right now, I have them taking Zach Bond from Wisconsin, who's an edge rusher, with their first pick in this draft, which I would project to be in the second round, obviously, with the trade down. But some guys that you could look at at 23, Patrick Queen from LSU, Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma, both off the ball linebackers, guys more like that are going to play off the line of scrimmage, not on the line of scrimmage as outside linebackers, but really rangy, instinctive players. They're first round talents. At safety, Xavier McKinley from Alabama or Grant Delpit from LSU are guys that they could pick up and kind of slate into a spot of impact player on the back end, not necessarily just a deep zone player or a guy closer to the line of scrimmage like a Patrick Chung, but a guy that they can really use as a chess piece to move around. In my first mock, I had AJ Epinenza from Iowa going to the Patriots in the first round. He's your Trey Flowers replacement. So I think that those are some of the names that you can look for. With the Patriots in the first round, oftentimes you don't necessarily look for their immediate need in 2020, but look for the need that they might have in 2021, 2022, and down the road. A guy that they're going to kind of project as a long-term investment at a position. So safety, edge rusher, certainly linebacker. Those are spots that the Patriots need to kind of clean up on the depth chart.
We'll continue to go round by round with our 2020 draft predictions. So stay tuned on our website at clnsmedia.com and on our YouTube page at Patriots Press Pass.